Hello friends, my name is Grail and welcome to my channel. Perhaps only now I can already talk about one subject, the topic of intuition, which allows us to live our own lives, go our own way, without looking around, without falling under someone's influence. Have no doubt when your soul tells you yes. Our world is full of things that distract us, Sometimes we're stuck in such swamp that we can't get out without a huge loss. But this is a kind of game in which there is only one rule: be true to yourself. I admit that me, like no one else, turned off the road very often, ignoring my inner voice. I persuaded myself to something, citing the strongest arguments of logic. Everything is explained by my childhood and that I was the youngest child in my family for whom everything was decided. I had my own free will, but it just happened so that everything that I was told I really liked, for example, dancing classes. But with age, I began noticing that I tried to convince myself a lot. And here I want to stop in more detail because when you have to persuade yourself to something, forcing yourself, this is the most obvious sign that you don't want what you are offering. Don't want to get a seemingly promising job, don't want to enter into a serious relationship with a person or marry him, don't want to travel somewhere you are promised the golden mountains. Yes, you just don't want to go to someone's birthday for reasons unexplained from the point of view of the mind, but the voice of the soul, our intuition, knows in advance everything that can happen and it screams to you, stop. Intuition is a powerful evolutionary tool that helped our ancestors, and now we should use it to survive as well. But in the modern world, we often sleep in reality. We live on a hunch because the world is relatively safe compared to the Middle Age, for example. Recently, I talked to my friend. She has a difficult relationship with her husband. For more than 2 years, she feels that this relationship can't be saved. She wasted her energy in this union. She constantly had emotional swings, and so she decided to get divorced. But after a serious conversation with her husband, some time passed. The dust has settled a little, and her man began to persuade her not to break up because everything is not so bad. They are close people and seem to love each other. And so we are talking with her, and she says, he offers to try to give a chance to our relationship, but I don't want to. But maybe the truth is everything is not so bad. From the side, everything is obvious to me. She said the most important phrase, and this is a phrase I don't want. And here is an interesting point. To understand what you don't want, you need to know what you want. It's so simple, but not always. And I suggest you to take a piece of paper right now and write out everything. Everything that fills you, sincerely feels, gives so much energy and unconditional love that you can work 24/7, forgetting about sleep and food. This can be the simplest and even not so creative things. For example, I have such an item in my list as daytime sleep. Since childhood, I like to sleep in the afternoon. It fills me, and sometimes I have very significant insights during such nap. For instance, recently I heard a melody with the words in such sleep, and it turned into a song called Young Boy. I recorded it, and you can watch my video on this song here. Investigate yourself, sincerely admit some things that are possibly from the point of view morality and society are wrong. Of course, replenishing such lists with the phrases like I like to get drunk until my pulse is lost, you will fool yourself because alcohol is an energy loan. At first you feel good, but then terribly, Therefore, your list should contain only what gives you energy, free of charge. It can be time spent with your child, painting, speaking in public, teaching, watching films, whatever. Write at least 30 points. Some of them may work temporarily and one day stop filling you with energy. It's okay, but some of them will nourish you all your life. You will be shocked after you truly uncover some things. I was very surprised when I wrote this list. I was even ashamed. So our society blames us for something, But I know that, for example, I like to masturbate. Ba-bam! And I'm ready to do it as often as I want, and I don't feel guilty for this. Why should I? I don't harm people with this. I feel good after. I like the attention of men so much, it may seem kind of flattery in the opinion of religious people, for example, but I have flirtation in my blood. My mother said that the midwife was the first person I made my eyes at. And it's me. I am who I am since childhood. I also have obvious signs of exhibitionism, and I suddenly realized that I like to be photographed naked. And even in public. You can see the backstage report of my new photo session by clicking on the link. Yes, from the point of view of society, I generally turn out to be some kind of pervert and sociopathic person a little bit, but what can I do if I'm so filled with this? After all these things, I'm transmitting positive vibrations and love. So that, knowing what fills you, you may find out the things that don't fill you at all. On the contrary, it drains energy from you, for example, overeating or talking with toxic people. Write out such things on a piece of paper as well. And boldly throw them out of your life. Don't be afraid of anything, the universe is on your side. It will see a precious diamond in you that glows with happiness and love. Don't you think it wants to send this diamond to the bin? Absolutely not. Being filled with energy, connecting with your center, you emit high-frequency vibrations and attract even more joy and love into your life. Never betray yourself. There is a wonderful breathing practice in Kundalini Yoga which helps us to get rid of unnecessary thoughts in the head and connect with our center, with the voice of our intuition. This is the breath of fire. Just sit in the comfortable pose, straighten your back, put your hands on your knees, and start breathing through your nose as sniffing air like this. The abdominal muscles work and pump in the air. Close your eyes and look at the area between your eyebrows. Do this 5 minutes a day and just feel what effect this exercise will give you. Systematic practice is very important since the effect is not achieved immediately. I have been doing Kundalini Yoga for a year already, and now I can say that it changed my mood attitude towards life, people and situations, and helped me to be more confident in my decisions. But this is a separate topic, and you may try to do some Kundalini Yoga Kriyas on my channel as well. Sometimes tarot cards help me a lot. I have been doing tarot readings since childhood, and sometimes I like to help myself and my friends analyzing the situation with the help of cards. But if there is no time and the decision should be made quickly, then the very first response, the very first reaction should prevail and help you. Sometimes you may feel discomfort or an anxiety in your soul, or vice versa, confidence, calm, joy. It also often happens that the first impression of a person, the first seconds of your meeting immediately tells you absolutely everything, and you don't need to be a medium because we are all psychics and have these extrasensory abilities. Just nobody taught us how to use our intuition. The Western society is generally used to live the life of the mind. And of course, our mind, intellect, logic are very important too. We need them to implement our ideas into reality, the primary impulse that was born in the soul. To structure activities, to develop strategy or plan, calculate details, but please don't make decisions with the mind. The soul must make decisions. Intuition is the compass that leads you through life. And at that moment when your soul has given you the answer, you need at all costs not to turn astray. Don't look back, don't be fooled by provocations, and most importantly, don't be afraid. This is the hardest part. I admit that I still have fears, and I'm aware of them and try to drive them away from me and just act. Keep a diary, write down your thoughts, and then come back and reread, and you will be surprised. You knew everything in advance. You have predicted and created your way. Just understand, realize that your whole life is your choice. What are you choosing? To be filled with energy, love, or waste your time for toxic people or unnecessary job? The choice is yours. In this video, I think I packed everything that could be stretched over the 10 series But today I had a very strong desire to share these thoughts with people, especially during this worldwide panic with coronavirus. If you don't react and not afraid, if you really want to live and enjoy, no disease can cut you down, but this fucking perforator will. I hope soon I will make up my mind to give you more shocking information, and I will risk of being misunderstood, but I believe that the information I'm going to talk about will be understandable for those who are ready to hear it. For today, my message is finished. Subscribe to my channel, ring bell for notifications. I really want that in my world there will be only happy people filled with love. I love you. See you soon. Stay true and kind. The rest things, never mind.